Always pleasure to tell you, Holy.
Isn't that so?
Yes.
Alright folks, it's that time again, isn't it? We need to get cracking on continuing at least this Amiga 300 motherboard. So last time we left this motherboard, we were able to boot into the diagram via the serial port. So now I think we want to get to the stage where we can have a successful RAM test. So as you can see, I've already started populating the RAM sockets, and this is the next stage. But really, by the end of this video, I would like to have this at least visually booting into a kickstart ROM, or at least into a diagram. Just have some VGA output and some visual. So let's get cracking. I stopped here because I was missing one socket for these ROMs, so I have the sockets. I'm going to solder that on, and we pretty much need to socket everything anyway. But there's an order to do this. So first, let's put the remaining one, populate our RAM, and then boot into diagram again, just to see if our RAM tests okay. Okay, what's going on?
I'm a ninja.
Yeah, that's not a ninja.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you're a ninja. Okay, why are you a ninja?
I'm following the way.
The way you're following the PCB way. I can't. I'm not doing this.
PCBWay offers manufacturing services along with part assembly. They also offer a number of fantastic services like CNC, metal sheet fabrication, 3D printing, and even injection molding, turning it into a one-stop shop for all your DIY projects. So go to PCBWay, upload your project files, and get an instant quote. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video. I'm keeping the money, Ali.
Alright, that's all of those in place. Next, we need to populate this IC and this IC. So I think this is a 74F373 and 74LS74. So I'm going to put those in here. I already put the sockets. I didn't have sockets at the time for the next ICs, which are all these 74 245. F245. There's a lot of them. I think there's one here as well. Yeah, there you go. And then we need to also populate the PALs. Never remember which. But anyway, and Chucky again has provided those already programmed. So that's very handy. So thank you very much for that, Chucky. I think there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And how many is there? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I got all the RAM, all the whatever these guys, the 646, everything that should be in there. I'm running a ROM, and I just wanted to show you the output. So we are getting the ROM, most of it is passing, but there's one error we're getting, which is writing a byte at 400, which is weird because writing a word before that at the same location actually works. So it's probably not a RAM error. I did reflow the RAM just to make sure. I swapped it around just to make sure, meaning I swapped, you know, there's 2 banks, so what is it, 1 meg, 2 meg or something like that, doesn't matter. But I just swapped them around, all of the RAMs, same error. I reached out to Chucky and he said he's had a couple of people reaching out on other machines, not necessarily the 3000, but I think there was a 2000 and something else. Anyway, he said it could be because a buster isn't present. There could be a floating signal. He's not sure. Remember, we're trying to run diagram with half of the board missing still, and I just want to check if the RAM is working. So, you know, this is why. So he recommends maybe putting a socket and putting buster right away and see if that changes anything. Well, that was slightly embarrassing. I did reach out to Chucky and suggested a few of the things we mentioned. I haven't put FanBuster in, but I sort of triple, quadruple check. I didn't want to do that because I was like, why would there be an issue with this guy? Well, there was actually a little solder bridge on this side of these legs, and now we get, well, one of the behavior is corrected. We get green everywhere, but look at that. It's gonna go, yeah, and it stops here, and I'm not sure why. Alright, it's a good while back after I did burn a new diagram 1.3 just in case, as Chucky suggested. However, I think the issue was I did find one dodgy 646 that was in this position, and it was sort of causing me all sort of errors and hang-ups. And I found out the hard way by just swapping. I did actually order a few more of these. I had 2 extra. Actually, better remember this guy. So I ended up just kind of one by one swapping and see if it made any difference. And when I got to this guy, essentially, well, this happened, and it happens now consistently. I'm going through the diagram. Where's my mouse cursor? Properly, and it goes through all the checks that it needs to until the serial prompt. Yeah, that took a while. I sort of reseated everything, and I'm glad now, in hindsight, that I socketed everything, because that would have been a right pain otherwise had I soldered these guys. Yeah, if I put this guy anywhere else, it will cause all sort of issues in the addressing logic. But good news is we're booting properly to diagram. All our RAM has been tested. There's one thing that threw me as well, is that in diagram 1.2 something, the last 1.2, it checks for 32 blocks of RAM, and it was giving me 40 blocks of 32 kilobytes of RAM, and here it checks for blocks of 64 kilobytes of RAM. So I was only getting 20 every time. I was like, well, what's going on? So I spent ages just trying to sort out all this until I kind of read properly, and it's 64 blocks of RAM. So yeah, so it does detect the 2 megs of RAM, of chip RAM here properly, so that's good news. But it's something to know in diagram. If you don't see that, where was it? If you don't see that 20, where is it? Here, number of 60k blocks found, 20. So yeah, it used to be 32, and it would find 40 in that case. It took me a minute. There you go. Chucky, I hate you. Okay, so next step here, we need to populate Denise. We needed those 244 ICs, and one of the video DAC, which is this guy here. So this is the little extra PCB that Chucky sent me. This is the it's called the Vidget, but it's a reproduction of the original DAC that you can find, well, first on this machine and the Amiga 500. For reference, it's this guy here, just after Denise, between Denise and the video output port. So it's this guy, and these rarely fail, but when they do, there's no replacement available other than, well, the Vidget. So this is what I've done here. I already populated this one and the other one a while back, one evening, so it's all done. It's all passives. It's just a few come on, focus. It's just a few resistors There you go. Resistors, capacitors, and I think there's a couple of transistors. So we just need to put in a RGB port, which I don't have. I thought I had a spare one, and I don't. And these, you can't just find these, so you have to either scavenge them from somewhere else, from another Amiga, or get one that's a DIY job. And I thought I had one, so I need to order one. In the meantime, you can already populate other stuff like Ramsey, these guys, and these connectors. So I'm going to do that next anyway. But the purpose with that is to be able to get a video signal and start getting output of the diagram onto a video. So I need to order that, and let's populate these. Right, that's the socket for Ramsey, and these for LS not LS but F74F245 in here. I'm not going to populate them yet. We're going to put the sockets here. Chucky mentioned there's one issue is these holes here should ideally align with these tabs here, but they don't, and it's probably because the wrong footprint was used. It's fine, it's no big deal. We don't really need those tabs, so he just recommends cutting them before you insert the socket. So we're going to do that and solder them in place. Okay, so I got an RGB connector. I ended up essentially, I was looking for ages for one, and there's a few replacements that exist using connectors that don't quite have the same sort of footprint as in these guys, but here's a match, or stuff that is missing the legs that you have to solder yourself. It was a lot of messing, and it ended up being, well, quite pricey in a way. What happened is I saw this on eBay for about, I think, 10 euros or something like that, plus shipping. And all in all, it ended up just being cheaper than actually buying even a replacement one of these, never mind an original. So that's what I did. I removed it from there, and I have this motherboard. But the reason this motherboard was so cheap, well, the extensive battery damage that is on this board. It creeps, so it goes from here. This is battery leaked. It goes all here, up around here, and I've actually seen it as far as here, and it goes all around here. I cleaned that. That was actually corroded. It's here, and it was even near the connector there as well. So it just creeped pretty much all around the board. We'll have to do something with this at some point. All right, I got that RGB connector from that Amiga 500 Plus. We're powered, and we got RGB, 2 megs of chip RAM, and fast RAM is 0. We don't have anything here, so our next step is going to populate. Forgot what this was, and these 245, sorry, and the SIM sockets. And see if we get some fast RAM. Ramsey, it's Ramsey. I forgot the name. So I got Ramsey in. I've got the 74F245. I was missing one, so here I put a 74LS series 245. I think it'll be okay. But next time I order parts, I might order an extra one. I thought I had enough, and I didn't. And I have two 8Ks of SIM RAM, and paired it. And there you go. Yeah, we're getting our RAM. Oh my god! Oh, this is so cool. Alright, so I said I wanted to boot to RGB, but that's all nice and well, but we need to be able to control it to some extent, diagram. So one last thing I want to do is add these connectors. So we got the mouse and whatever joystick, the other controller. I think that's the keyboard controller here, and we need to populate this IC in this socket U305, I think, and we should be able then to control diagram with the mouse. And I want to maybe run one test other than RAM check, so I'm just gonna add the two connectors here for the audio, and I think we need those two caps and this IC 402 to be able to at least get some audio output. So let's do that next. Right, I made this one quick, so it populated this IC. I was missing one D sub connector, so I had to scavenge that again from that Amiga 500 Plus board. I have the keyboard connector. I don't have a keyboard, so for now we're not going to populate that, but I have my mouse connected, and I have in the other section these two connectors. Again, I thought I had them, but they were the wrong type. They were these guys, and well, I suppose there's plenty of tabs here I could cut, but instead I again scavenged them from my Amiga 500 Plus, that sacrificial board, although we might yet go and try and fix it at some point once we're all done. We need the LM347 and those two little capacitors here. And let's see if I move the mouse. Yes, so we should be able to do some memory test and all that, but here, for the sake of this video, we want some sound. Yes, we've sound. Awesome. So oh my god, there's life. There's proper life, and life we can interact with. We get sound out. We can control at least the mouse. I don't know about a keyboard, I don't have one. And yeah, we're booting. I'm just gonna see if we can run maybe some memory tests. Right, I've been running the test for a while. This is the fast RAM test. It seems to be going fine. I've noticed though, these guys, this area especially, but the 646 seem to be running pretty hot. It's not too hot to touch, but it's pretty toasty. And I wonder if anybody knows. I've asked Chucky in the meanwhile, so if I get a reply before I get to edit this video, I'll put that in. But yeah, these guys seem to be running pretty hot, and I wonder if they need some form of heat sink or heat dissipation or a fan in there. I'm not familiar really with the Amiga 3000, all things considered, so I don't know if it had a fan or if there was a plate for heat dissipation here. And could well be the case, but I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. Yeah, these guys especially. Anyway, folks, I think this is plenty for this. We managed to boot to video, and we can interact with diagram. We can run some tests already. We've got audio and obviously graphics out. I think next step we want to get the floppy sorted. We want to get the hard drive sorted. We are going to need to sort out the VGA stuff and a few other bits. So I think we've a couple more videos in this series, but this is video 3, and I think this is plenty for this. So huge thank you to Chucky for sorting me out with a lot of these parts, especially the chipset is a tricky one to get. Thank you very much, Chucky, as well, for your advice. Folks, thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting. Don't forget, there's a Discord server if you want to chat. Links is in the description. There's a Patreon page and YouTube membership as well if you want to support the channel. Folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.